Okay, hi everybody. It's Queen of Light 1111. I just posted a video on the King of Shadows 1111 channel. I meant to do, on my weekends, I usually post my daily readings on my weekend readings on Instagram. But because of the decks that I'm using today, the Egyptian decks, it's just the messages are so deep that I'm not going to be able to convey all of the channel messages, in 90 seconds through a reel or even a minute through a short. So I had to come in and do a video for all of you. So go ahead and watch the King of Shadows, video first because it's so interesting what's happening right now. The question that I asked Spirit was, what is, divine feminine's most significant energy towards her masculine? And I asked the same for the masculine's reading, what is his most specific, most significant energy towards his feminine? So this here is the divine feminine's energy towards her masculine. Bottom of the deck, we have pet. Okay, these are I don't really know the pronunciations very well, but so bear with me. But it's Ra. We have Sobek, union and power. We have versatility, and we have the 10 of Wands. So this is really interesting. This is the theme of the reading, okay? And by the way, all of these decks that I'm using are available on my Amazon storefront. That's the links are in the bio. These are really, really deep cards. So, you do have to work with them and study them and understand them and build your own relationship with them. So this is very interesting because the card that came out for feminine as, this crowning energy, the bottom of the deck is the Ra. Ra is the sun, right? For those of you who are into, Egyptian knowledge and history, we know that the sun is Ra. And so here we have that card that is coming out for Divine Feminine. It's the number 3, which also kind of reminds me a lot of, uh, you know, the Empress energy, okay? So when this card comes out, this is the energy of the light. This is the energy of illumination, okay? We see here you have the 2 eyes, we have the serpent, we have the 3rd eye. I'm going to explain to you, I just want to find this in the book because I do want to explain to you the different symbols and graphics because that's also very, very important, especially when you're reading with this deck, is to really understand all of the different symbols. So just bear with me 1 second. This is the family of Pet, P-E-T. Sorry. I channel real time, but I also just like to give you, because this is new to me, the symbolism of these specific cards. Okay, so we have here Ra from the family of Pet, number 3. The word Ra is a seed syllable meaning creative power. Thou art the God one who didst come into being in the beginning of time. So here we have, the Egyptians used to worship the sun, right? The sun, also the moon and the stars, and they used all of those elements to tell time, to see where placements are, to navigate. And so the sun, is the greatest of all the solar gods. Ra assumed many names, many forms, has vast power, okay? So here we have, I just want to get to the symbolism because I think that's very important here. Uh, Here we go. Okay, so the center of Ra's worship, right? So there's the snake. Do you see the snake here? That circles the solar disk, okay? And the snake's name is Kut, and that's power and splendor. And then you have that placed on the great eye of Ra, and it's on the forehead where it became the snake, right? So it radiates the 3rd eye. There's a powerful protector. It's the destruction of Ra's enemies. So what I'm really feeling for Divine Feminine, her crowning energy, is that she has come into creative power. She has come into great success, and she has overcome any obstacles and danger, okay? So as related to her masculine, right? If the masculine is not ready yet, she has come into her own. She is in her high priestess energy. She's in this energy of oh, maybe I dodged a bullet here. maybe this is like, because I don't want to be with someone who's still in their distortion. And the next energy we have here is of Sobek. And when Sobek comes out, this is the energy, right? Just like it says, union and power. And so Sobek is ambivalent, right? So he's not good nor bad. He's in this energy where he's ferocious enough to ward off evil, but he also defends the innocent. So in this energy, Sobek comes to life through the dismembered limbs, right? It's the unification of Osiris's limbs. And so look at here, the crocodile face. We saw the crocodile face in masculine's reading. So this is why I'm saying watch that first. And so here he heals the souls that are wounded. Okay? He's healing this. The feminine is in her energy of restoring her health, restoring her sight, restoring her senses. She's coming into her own union and her own power, right? She's been in this energy where she's been hurt, she's been wounded, perhaps even devoured, right? But now she's in this energy of authority and decision making. And she's in this energy where anything that she creates from a place of intuition and alignment is going to continue to give her power. The next card we have is the card of versatility, number 49. So when this card comes out, this is all about the energy of just, there's change. You have to get into this energy of creating change. Maybe you have to remove a certain paradigm, a certain narrative, a certain storyline that you've been following for a very long time, that created pain, that created hurt, but also led to this powerful creative union and power that you're in now. And I feel like there could be rivalries in love. I mean, seriously, the book even says it. This is about rivalries in love for the better, because change needs to happen. You can't stay stuck. And then we have the energy of the 10 of Wands. So when the 10 of Wands comes out, that 10 for me is that end of the cycle, but it's also about, you know what? It's time to lay down these burdens. It's time to lay down all of this energy that I have been carrying. It's time for the new. It's time for, divine feminine to live her life, to lay down the baggage, to create change. So what is her energy? What are we getting for her? The theme of the reading is she's in her power. She's in her senses. She has the correct sight. She's also being protected. All of this pain, all of this anguish, all of this has led to her reunification of herself into her own union and power. And now she's very versatile with it. She's kind of like, you know what? Things need to shift. Things need to change. I need to move on. I need to, find myself the highest aligned love if I so seek that, a relationship. And I'm laying down these burdens. I'm laying down the baggage. I'm laying down the pain. I'm no longer going to carry it with me into a new cycle. So here we have the crowning card for the reading, and it is the energy of Dwat. Now I got to tell you, I only take cards that fly out one at a time. Okay, only take cards that fly out one at a time. This card kept flying out, but with other cards over and over and over again. And I was like, wow, oh my God. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, I'm not sure if I want to get that card. But sure enough, shuffle, 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 boom, it came out all by itself. And guess what this card is called? The Great Snake, or the Great Enemy. So her most significant energy towards her masculine is she has felt oppressed. She's been in this energy where she's been facing her fears. She's been dreaming, having nightmares, and there's memories perhaps that she has been confronting through this Mercury retrograde. Now we're finally coming out of the shadow period, and this is why she is rising into this creative power, because she has just felt so oppressed for so long. She's had these unconscious fears and these memories for so long, and she's confronted them, she's fought them, and she's done with that. Okay, so her most significant energy towards her masculine right now is that I am illuminated, that I will no longer be sitting here and waiting. I will no longer be sitting in these memories of my pain, of my hurt, of my sadness, and in this energy of separation. She's done with that. She's no longer going to be oppressed. She's going to free herself, because this energy of the masculine not stepping up and not stepping up into his power has had the effect where it's kept her from her own power. So the next card that we have is, look at this, Osiris, death and rebirth. What did I say about Osiris? All of his severed limbs put her back together. It put her back together. So basically, what's happening here is this energy where divine feminine's like, you know what? I had to go through what I had to go through. I went through what I went through because I went through a massive death and rebirth because of my divine masculine, right? So she's in this energy where, she's experiencing, she's experienced the suffering, right? Osiris, right? Like, his story is he's compassionate. He's the god of suffering. He's the god of victims and the oppressed. And he frankly suffers with the mortals, right? But he also gives that cycle of death and rebirth so that you don't have to continue to be in that oppression. So this is about welcoming something new with confidence, even if it's different from what you've experienced up until now. So this is very much the energy of, look, she's in this energy of, I am risen. I am in my divine feminine power. I know my worth. I know my strength. I know what it is that I want. And I'm no longer going to be oppressed by masculine not coming forward. This is true self-union. And with this energy of, I've went through pain and suffering, and the God of compassion was there. He was part, the masculine was part of this energy of dismembering, metaphorically, all of I don't even want to say it that way because it just sounds kind of weird and creepy. But what I'm feeling is that, her heart's broken, her heart's been devoured. Maybe she gave, so much where she failed, like that saying, I gave an arm and a leg and blah, 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 right? So it just feels like she just gave everything, every part of her body, every part of her soul. And that just kind of left her in her suffering. But it was not suffering without reason. And look at the higher purpose of this was that she put herself back together, and she's in this union and her power and this energy of death and rebirth. So she's in this energy where, you know what? I'm done with that old narrative. I'm done with that old cycle. I am welcoming the new. And what is she welcoming? There's this hermit energy, number 9. And this hermit energy is all about the energy of going within, connecting to her inner strength, and rising to move towards the promised land. Okay, this is the energy where, yes, there was great pain. Yes, there was suffering. Yes, we had to go within. But you know what? I've learned through my suffering. I've learned, and my inner guide has just lit up. And now I know I'm headed towards the promised land. And look at this, the Chariot card. That's mastery. When the Chariot card comes out, that is the balance of the masculine and the feminine energy. That's the balance of her own inner union. That's the balance of her shadow and of her light. And she is the master of the shadow and the light. And so now she is very much in this energy of breaking down obstacles, defeating anything that gets in the way of her success. So I do feel like divine feminine is in this massive breakthrough. I also am getting, if you were a feminine who was in this energy of, sharing the light, shining the light, helping people, and, if you felt like, God, maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. I really feel like charge forward, share the light, speak your truth. Not everyone is going to like your truth, but you know what? Truth is what is necessary in this world right now. No more games, no more veils, no more shadows, no more confusion. We have to move towards clarity. We have to move towards the cycle of change and get out of this energy of oppression. You have mastered yourself. You are in the energy of union and power. And now it's time to think differently. It's time to be versatile. It's time to go to things and people and situations that are in alignment to you. And if that is your, whatever narrative that is, and that can come in many different forms, right? I want to do this work and I don't want to do this work anymore. My masculine's not ready. So I'm going to, open myself up to the highest form of love, whatever it is for you. I'm not here to tell you what that is for you. You know what that is for you. But all I am saying to you is that you have risen feminines. You are in your power. You are in your sight. You are in your wisdom, and you are protected. Move forward. Charge ahead with your truth, and do not fear. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye, everybody.